Your asylum interview is one of the most important moments in your immigration journey. But what happens when the interview itself isn't conducted fairly? Knowing the red flags could make all the difference. Asylum officers are trained to conduct non-adversarial interviews and objectively evaluate each applicant's claim for protection. They review written submissions and oral testimony while applying asylum law and country condition information. One of the most serious warning signs is when an asylum officer becomes visibly impatient or adversarial during the interview. This can look like cutting off the applicant before they finish answering, demanding simple yes or no answers to complex, nuanced questions, or directly accusing the applicant of dishonesty without basis. Every asylum seeker has the right to explain their experiences fully and without intimidation. When an officer limits opportunities for clarification or creates a hostile environment, the fairness of the process may be seriously compromised. Another red flag is when the officer appears disengaged or unprofessional during what is often a deeply personal and traumatic testimony. Signs of disengagement include repeatedly checking a phone or watch, failing to take notes while the applicant speaks, or appearing generally inattentive to the details of the claim. Asylum interviews require careful listening and serious attention. An officer who is visibly checked out may miss critical details that affect the outcome of your case. A fair asylum interview depends heavily on the officer's understanding of the applicant's home country. If an officer confuses one country for another, for example, mistaking Iran for Iraq or Sudan for South Sudan, or shows a clear lack of familiarity with the political, social, or cultural realities of the applicant's home country, that is a significant problem. The length of the interview itself can be a red flag. Not every case is the same, and the time spent should reflect the complexity of the claim. A complex, religion-based asylum claim with extensive supporting documentation should not be rushed through in under an hour. Conversely, a straightforward, well-documented case should not turn into an exhaustive, multi-hour interrogation. Either extreme, too short or disproportionately long, may suggest inefficiency, fatigue on the part of the officer, or a fundamental misunderstanding of the scope of your case. If you or your attorney believe that procedural errors or bias affected the outcome of your asylum interview, it may be possible to request a reconsideration or re-interview. These requests must be supported by clear evidence, such as factual inaccuracies made by the officer or references to outdated country condition information. Asylum offices typically take these requests seriously when backed by thorough documentation. A re-interview is usually shorter than the initial interview. The officer will likely revisit inconsistencies or discrepancies from the first session and may ask additional questions that were not raised before. If new evidence has come to light since your initial interview, you should be able to present it, especially if significant time has passed between the two sessions. Keep in mind, given the extensive backlog at asylum offices nationwide, the time between filing a re-interview request and having it scheduled can be lengthy. Consult your attorney and follow up at appropriate intervals. While most asylum officers perform their duties with professionalism and integrity, burnout and insufficient training remain real and ongoing challenges within the system. Recognizing these red flags early empowers you to take corrective action and ensure your case is evaluated fairly. At Jeelani Law Firm, our attorneys help clients prepare for every stage of the asylum process, from filing applications to navigating interviews and appeals. We also offer a mock asylum interview service led by former USCIS Asylum officer Alan Schwartz, providing realistic interview simulations and expert guidance so applicants walk in confident and prepared.